Well, at least it's like starting to pay off a little.
A lot of it. Here, move you a bit closer. Just have your body faces your camera.
This way.
And then you face the microphone. Just speak up.
Like this?
Whatever you want. I'll always ask as you speak up.
Okay.
That's it.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it has kind of done well recently.
Yeah, ever since you got on TikTok.
I know, I fucking hate it.
Were you like, who pushed you to do that, Cody?
Cody, yeah. So much so that, well, we made jackets for the athletes that I'm jokingly sponsoring and need legitimate contracts for now. But we put Cody's tattoo on the back of the jacket.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
I love that she got the tattoo.
I do too. I think it's a little insane, but yeah. So you're a teacher, so I have to say this because I'm not going to go through this again. Fair warning, I will not edit anything. Everything you say can and will be used against you.
Okay, so I won't put any names or details of my school.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything with your school. Just letting you know, this is going everywhere. I'm not going to edit this, and then.
Okay. So you should have a contract for me to sign.
No.
So I don't.
This
sue
is
you?
your contract right here. Just shake your hand and be like.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah. No, that's it. Because I do not want to do 2 days of editing this and then get a. This is kind of a shot at someone else, and they'll know if they listen to this. But I do not want to edit this and then get a text saying, "Please don't release it."
Really? Did you film some with the teacher and they were like, "Wait, you definitely."
But
should.
and I get why, but I just covering my ass now and my time. This is
Let's not talk about my school district or my kids or parents.
I mean, you could talk about them. It's just at your own risk.
Okay.
That's basically all I had to cover. Now that you agreed to it, what do you want to talk about?
What do I want to talk about? Should we talk about how we met?
We can. I don't know how we met though.
I do.
Really?
Yeah. Do you don't remember?
No. Here, move that closer to you.
This closer.
Or you, just that, or speak up a bit. You're a little quiet. But yeah,
I don't have a voice that carries. Okay, so we met because of our friend Cody.
Yeah.
But I didn't know you. I knew who you were.
Okay.
Okay. So I always knew you as Cody's best friend. And then we were at Lizzie's house one night. Do you remember that night?
So this is recently?
It was probably 8-9 months ago.
Oh,
really?
Really?
Last winter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was a long time ago.
No. That was when I first really remember meeting you.
Okay.
We always followed each other on social media.
Yeah.
Because I knew you as Cody's friend.
And then I called, yeah, okay. I know exactly where this is going.
And then, so I met you at Lizzie's house and I was like, "Hey, I'm Erika. It's nice to meet you." And you're like, "I'm Michael. I know who you are. We know each other. We follow each other on social media."
Yeah.
Basically, and I'm Cody's friend. And I was like, "Oh my God, I know exactly who you are. You're Cody's friend." But I never put 2 and 2 together and knew who you were. To be honest, you didn't have the biggest social media presence until recently.
I still don't. My
with
personal
your
account,
podcast.
my personal account's dead.
So I never was really in Madison. You weren't really in Whitewater that much.
Fuck no, I was not.
So I didn't put 2 and 2 together. And then when I saw you, I was like, "Oh my God, I know who this guy is." And then the next week, my friend. Am I allowed to say names?
Say her name. I know where this is how I think. This is what I remember.
My friend Lauren was like, "Hey, I think Kusky was talking shit about someone on his podcast." And I was like, "Really? Who do you think?" And she said the person's name. And so then we asked you about it because we were out together. I was
"No, it was you."
You were talking shit about me on your podcast.
Yeah, that wasn't this show. That was, I think that was way back when we were doing Tending a Lisp.
With
just me and Braxton.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the whole, and it wasn't, because when we first met, I remember this now, is I didn't say we know each other. I just went all right, fuck it, we're going to play this game. And I hated that. I was like, God.
I knew who you were, though. I wasn't trying to act like I didn't know you.
But that's how my head interpreted it. So I was like, I hate, and it wasn't that I was talking shit about you. It's the game everyone plays. Because let's be honest, there are people. I have I probably follow 500 some people on social media. I bet you there's at least 100 of them I barely know or
that you
have
would
talked
feel
to.
like you need to introduce yourself
Exactly.
to.
No, I get it. But at the same time, it bothers me. It's like, I know more about you than I probably should. Like, I know what you did for winter break, for spring break. I know you're, not you specifically, but like people. It's like, I know who you're dating. I know you broke up with this person. I know you like skydiving all of a sudden. I know you think you're ripped because I'm like, I know way too much because of social media. So that's what bothered me.
Yeah, but then you were like, I was talking shit about you.
Yeah, it was. You were the example that came up because it's bothered me for a long time. And we all do it. I'm guilty of it too. But yeah.
And then I was like, that is so funny because I literally texted Cody right after I met you saying, oh my God, I just met Michael. He's so cool. And then you go on to your podcast later and...
It doesn't mean I'm not cool. I think at least you didn't say he's so nice because he's not. I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, I don't even think Cody... I thought that was funny too. I think what bothered me the most is doubling down where the first person you brought up were like, you know Cody? And in my head, I'm like, you know damn well this is the reason we know each other is fucking Cody.
Well, I wanted to say it. I didn't want to assume, when you have to segue into something.
I know. I think for future reference, let's start with someone I probably don't know that went to Franklin. I go, oh, not really. Then you go, oh, how about Cody? Be like, oh yeah, best friend.
Okay.
Play it off a little better next time.
Okay.
Speaking of Cody, hasn't replied to me in a while. Getting
What's
real
she been
annoying.
doing?
I don't know. I haven't done it. Actually, I texted her 2 hours ago when you said you were coming on, and I called her, no response. I'm like, I know you're at work, but a quick hello or when I text you, say
you're
something.
Help me figure out what I need to talk to.
Well, I literally said, I wanted them give me something that I can
Yeah.
bring up that she would have no idea I know about. And just
She didn't
and
reply?
then a story. Nothing.
Okay.
So
I didn't even know you started this thing. You never gave me a warning that you started the show. By the way. I was like, okay, I guess we're jumping right into this.
Oh yeah. Well, I told you once I turned the cameras on, we were basically rocking and rolling.
Do you always do that?
Oh hell yeah. I hope all the cameras are on. I always do this too, are they all on? And yeah, we're all going.
Cool.
Yeah, no, we joke around like that should be a t-shirt that said, oh, we're going, or yeah, I do it to everyone because most people are uncomfortable when they come here.
I mean, it's kind of uncomfortable.
I totally get it.
I feel like it's almost a forced conversation.
Yeah,
if you don't have talking points, you're like,
yeah, but then
what do we talk
when
about?
you when I say, if I all right, record, go, even I think it's forced then. But if I can just I can kind of start something, you're like, oh, we're just talking now. And then 15, the longest someone has gone is about 20 minutes. And they're like, hey, we started. Yeah, we've been going we're almost halfway through this episode.
How long do you normally film for?
An hour.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty long, depending on the conversation.
Yeah,
though.
we could end it whenever you want. If I get sick of you, I'm like,
you're like, all right, it's good. Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, if it's good, I would want to go longer. I only have one question, and that's at the very end. I really wish Cody would have replied because I want to hear some fun story, but I also know you're a fucking teacher, so you have to dumb it down a bit.
Yeah. Well, okay, I could talk. I got a dog recently.
Oh yeah, we actually should talk about the reasoning behind this dog too.
Okay, so I got a dog recently. I got a little border collie puppy named Atlas. He's a Trimeral, and when I was thinking about getting a dog, I was like, my life has been going too fast lately. I really need to just grow up. The first thing that popped into my mind was I think I need to get a dog. That'll really make me grow up and have some responsibilities. And so then I was researching dog breeds, and I really wanted a dog with high energy so that I could be super active with it, and a really smart dog so that I could train it really well. So also, could be family-y because I was like, Border Collie, perfect dog. So I did my research. I got on the Border Collie Facebook pages, started finding breeders. You know, there's a lot of backyard breeders and puppy mills on like those Facebook pages. But I talked to this lady. She checked out. She seemed good.
Was
so
it
I got my
backyard?
puppy. I mean, it was in someone's backyard, but that's like what breeders are in like backyards. But like a backyard breeder, I would say is someone who like has like 10 dogs there and like runs through them. Like still have like 3 litters at a time.
Jesus.
And like a puppy mill is more like a business type of thing. They'll have like 50 dogs there. You know what I mean? So I got my puppy and he's a lot more than I thought it would be. It's like instead of like slowing down my life, it's completely stopped my life. Like I have 0 social life right now. I don't go out. I went out for the first time like last weekend during the day and I had to bring him with me. Otherwise I wouldn't have been able to go out.
Yeah.
And he's like a lot of work in the sense of, since he's a working dog and a Border Collie, he never stops. Like he doesn't know how to settle. I've actually had to like teach him how to settle.
He's a puppy.
He's also a puppy too. But like there's some puppies, like a golden retriever puppy, I'll just be like happy laying on you and rolling over and falling asleep. This dog, not happy with that at all. He's not cuddly.
You asked for this. You're like, I want the active. I want the smart dog.
He's not cuddly. And like the fact is he learns just as much bad things as he does good things every single day. Like right now he's on chasing his tail and barking at it all day long in circles. If I'm not playing with him for a second, that's what he's doing.
So he's real smart.
So he's a bit neurotic, a bit compulsive. I'm like, is this going to be like your thing? And then as we go on walks lately, he's started to chase cars. And that's like a no-no. I don't want him to be off leash and then all of a sudden chase cars too. But yeah, it's been a lot. Just getting used to it. So if anyone out there is in the market for Border Collie, let me know. Kidding.
I was like, holy shit. Yeah, the fact when you told me like, yeah, I wanted my life to slow down. I took it as like, yeah, I need to relax, just not do as much. I'm like, I think a dog's the exact fucking opposite of not do much. Like you might not be like traveling all the time, but you now have like a 4-legged child, but not really.
I know, but puppies are literally worse than babies because you can't like set them down and walk away from them.
No, you quite literally can't. Like if a puppy falls over, you're not worried he hit its head.
Yeah. But also, like, they just don't sit down. Like, they won't just sit there.
You cannot become the whole, I'm a mom, I have a dog person. Please don't be.
I mean, but like...
Don't say it.
But like at least the babies, you can like put them on a couch and walk away and do other things. Right?
Put a dog in a kennel.
I mean, put him in a kennel, but then he cries and whines and he's in his kennel all day when I'm at work.
So does a baby.
But yeah, I guess. I don't know. I have to be like more okay with it, but it's just a lot right now.
Yeah, what are you going to do when you have a child of your own?
Not having kids.
You don't want kids?
No.
Not at all?
Never.
Not even a little bit? Interesting.
No. I'm a teacher. I have enough problems with kids as it is. I don't need my own kids. And also I'm terrified of having an unhealthy baby.
You're the first person I've met really that doesn't want kids. Besides maybe Cody, but like Cody doesn't want them anytime soon, I think.
I just like couldn't imagine having that responsibility, spending all that money on your kid. I just want to spend my money on myself.
You just said dogs were worse than children. So please, let's balance this out.
But dogs, you can train it to be a really good dog and take care of it.
That's quite literally the definition of raising a child.
And you only have them for like 10 years. A kid like you're committed to for like life.
It sounds like you're waiting for this dog to die already.
No, I'm not. But I'm saying it's a shorter commitment. And they can be like cute and cuddly. And I don't know. I just like see it as a different thing. I don't want kids.
Clearly.
I don't want kids at all.
That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I want kids, but again, not anytime soon.
Yeah.
Those kids would die if I had one right now. Oh god, yeah. I can't imagine having a kid right now. And I know I'm gonna have 4 daughters. It's just gonna happen. I'm gonna shoot for 2 or 3, and it's gonna be like girl, try for a son, twin daughters, and then...
Are you going to be someone who, like, needs to have a kid with their wife?
I would like to have a kid with my wife, yes.
Like, I don't know. Do you see yourself
what
getting
else
married?
am I having a kid with? Right? Do I see myself getting married?
Mm-hmm.
Let's put it this way. I would like to be married. Do I see it happening right now? No. No. I've told my mom, I said, Mom, right now your best bet at being a grandmother or having grandchildren is a fucking accident, which is not good.
Because none of your brothers?
No, we are romantically useless. I mean, it's brutal. I mean, you'd have a hard time picking which of the three of us. And you're like, they all suck right now. It's just, we're not in that stage of...
No one's looking?
No one. Oh, Steven might be. Steven's so quiet that we have no fucking clue what he's doing. Yeah. He might have 3 girlfriends right now, for all we know. He is definitely the hopeless romantic.
Okay.
For sure. Andrew's going to get lucky. And I think I've told on you before. My mom has said straight up, Steven's a hopeless romantic, Andrew's lucky. And then she just stopped talking. I'm like, you have a 3rd child, Mom.
So what about you?
I think the silence meant like, I'm screwed.
Okay.
I
told my mom, I was like, I don't think I'm going to get married. I don't think I'm going to have kids. She got super upset. She's like, what about all the grandbaby books downstairs in the basement and all the toys I've kept?
Burn
and I was like, I'm definitely not getting married and I'm not having kids. So
you can give them to if you're married to the job, you can give them to are you going to teach like kindergarten the rest of your life then?
No.
That's going to be your
4th grade.
4th grade? Kindergarten, same thing.
I mean, not really. The kindergartners are like this big, barely know how to read. 4th graders are like distributive property, writing literary essays.
What the hell is distributive property?
Like,
also, what did trilumal mean for your dog? Or
trimeral?
Trimeral. Close enough.
You just thought of that now?
Yeah, I thought about it a while ago, but my head goes a million different directions.
It's like his like the kind of border collie, I guess. It's like his coloring. I don't know. For the people out there.
He is fucking cute.
Yeah, it's like
real cute.
It's like very Australian Shepherd coloring. Like looks like an Aussie.
I am dog breed illiterate.
So he's like a blue merle with some brown in there. Is his coloring.
Wouldn't that be bimeral then, not trimeral?
Trimeral. I don't know. The breeder. That's what the breeder wrote on the papers. Trimeral.
Well, it was also out of someone's backyard. You know what else people do in backyards is make meth. So.
I mean, I don't think it was a backyard breeder.
Is trimeral even a thing, or are they just writing things down to make it sound like a fancy dog?
It's real. Like
$5,000 trimeral triglyceride puppy.
He was not $5,000. He was like $1,200.
Damn.
Yeah, but that was because he got delivered to my doorstep from Ohio. I had to pay a delivery fee.
What was he shipped in, like a box?
No, a puppy nanny drove him. She took a bunch of like puppies across the country to different people who bought them from breeders, and then she picks up other puppies from other breeders and drives them around.
That's an interesting job.
Yeah, she had a car full of puppies just on the road for like a week straight.
We do. I'm road tripping with a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
That are pissing and shitting all over the car.
Yeah, and I'm like, where do you stay? In a hotel with all those
She's got puppies? A kennel of her own.
Yeah, like, do you think they just sleep in the car or what goes on?
That would have to be miserable. That car has to reek.
Yeah, well, they had like 3 kennels, like 2 puppies in each kennel, and then picking up the stuff from there.
What's the logistics of taking, let's say you got 10 puppies and you're going across the country? At some point, they need to pee. They either pee in the car, or you let them all out. But then what? Are you puppies on? You got like 19 puppies on a leash on the side of the highway. And let's say you have your dog who's trying to chase cars, so you got one going this way, one's looking at the other one, because they're so smart.
Yeah. So my dogs, like, they don't pee in their kennel. They don't pee where they sleep. They don't want to poop where they sleep. They'll do it where they're not. So that's why they're in the kennels in the car. And if they do pee and poop in the car, that means they really, really had to go, or they're like a really, really young puppy. But after one time of them doing that, the puppy will never do it again. My dog had 1 accident in his kennel. And ever since then, he's been completely fine.
It's like it smells like shit in here.
Sleeps like 10 hours through the night and will go immediately in the morning and have it all saved up, but like won't in his kennel. But when he's out of his kennel, it's every hour. So,
yeah, I didn't know that. That's good, at least.
Yeah, they
You're
won't.
not cleaning the kennel every morning.
But I don't know if she had to like take him out here and there to try to go on the side of the road, but.
Have you brought the dog into your classroom yet? Because I feel like that'd be a hit with your kids.
I feel like my principal probably wouldn't let me.
Bring a dog in?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the kids' allergies are.
Yeah, but no one is, like, deathly allergic to cats or dogs. It's not like you're
Sometimes,
bringing in a
like,
bag of
hives.
Pistachios and be like, here, Jimmy,
Well,
let me rub this in
sometimes
your
hives.
face.
And I know that sometimes, like, maybe custodians wouldn't want, like, to clean up messes. Because I don't know what my puppy is going to do in the classroom.
Put him in the kennel. He
Yeah,
definitely won't
just
do
like
anything.
put him
then.
in the kennel. He'll watch us all day from his kennel, whine all day, watching people walk past him. I think it would be fun. Don't get me wrong.
I think it'd be very fun.
I always share pictures with my kids, but I don't know if I could ever.
Do you find your kids to be like your best friends?
Yeah, they were like besties. I'm
How
not
old
gonna.
are fourth graders?
They're 9 turning 10.
And your besties? What's a typical? Okay. So fourth grade, are you? How does it work? What school? Never mind. You're not. Now I'm trying to get you fired. So I went to a private school, and we had 2 fourth grade classes, 2 fifth, 2 sixth, 2 seventh, 2
Yeah.
eighth. And the 2 teachers taught every subject. So like one taught, I don't know, what do you teach? 8 subjects. One teaches 4, the other teaches 4. Is that what you're doing? Are you teaching like 4, and then the Miss Johnson is teaching?
So I teach all the core subjects. I teach science, math, social studies, English, writing, SEL, which is social emotional learning. I teach spelling.
We're going to come back to that one.
So all the core subjects, the only subjects they go away for is library, which it's not really like a subject. They're just checking out their library books and like learning how to check out library books, like read the systems with the Dewey Decimal and all that stuff. They have music, gym, and art. That's what they go away for. Everything else is with me.
You'd think the library thing would be outdated. I don't remember the last time I was in a library.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, this week, but just to watch my kids check things out.
Like, do you really know how to check out a library book?
No, the librarians do it for me. Like, hey, I need to get these books, and they'll just go grab it for me and put it in a bin.
To be honest,
here it is.
I think you could get rid of the library class and just go to like Amazon class and be like, this is how you look up what book you want. Mm-hmm. Jeff Bezos will send it to you in 1 to 2 days, depending on if you're cheap or not and don't have Prime. And then that's it. No one goes to a library for books. Did you go to a library in college?
To study?
I didn't even do that.
Not to like actually get books, but I think that like the last time I went to the library to get books was probably like a summer camp in elementary school. You know when you like had those summer reading goals?
No.
My parents were always big into that. I would go to the library. We'd sign up for the summer reading program, like win things.
Oh, it sounded like
out
your
books.
summers were real fun when you were younger.
I mean, they were busy, and my parents liked me to keep up on my school stuff.
We were doing like backyard sports. We weren't doing backyard reading.
Well, your parents didn't have you do like math and reading at all?
No.
You didn't
look
read
how
like
well
20
it's
minutes
still
a day?
No, absolutely not. We did not read 20 minutes a day. I think when we were super young, like, I guess I'm thinking middle school or even 4th grade, when I think I could read still. I don't know. When do you learn to read?
So 1st grade, I feel like is really the big year where you start to like hit it hard with reading. Kindergarten is a lot of like sounds and putting together. Am I too far away?
No, you're fine. It's just I don't like when it taps or it goes to sleep and then I can't see everything.
Okay. But yeah, kindergarten is like more so like learning sounds and like how to write their names and phonological awareness. I don't think you know. I'm not sure if you know what that is, and like phonics and stuff.
Yeah, hooked on phonics. I did that.
And then they start learning like putting it together in books and thinking about what happens in the stories in 1st grade.
What do you mean by learning sounds? Like the cow goes moo and
Like,
the pig goes oink oink
like
oink?
vowels can have like 2 different sounds, like the long A, the A, or the A sound. Yeah.
O, as, ah.
Yeah.
Are they learning Spanish yet? I got a lot of questions about what you guys are teaching the youth.
No, they don't learn Spanish, at least in my school, in my district, until middle school.
Is it an all-white school? Is that why?
I mean,
That's a yes.
It's mostly white.
Caucasian.
It's mostly white. It's definitely getting to be more diverse, but I would definitely say it's has its
So
majority
you got
population.
like, you have your like token black kid at the school. Is that what you're saying?
No. I would say that there's like a few more than just one or two.
A few tokens, yeah.
Yeah. But it's getting to be more mixed, and I think it's also where my school just happens to be too.
Yeah,
I think like a certain like minority groups like to live near each other in situations.
Very true. Yeah.
So
for
like
reasons sometimes not of their own control.
yeah, I know. So like my school like has larger populations of certain minority groups, and I'm not sure if that's like there's a reason for that.
I'm sure there is.
But
let's not get into it.
That's like what I've noticed.
Yeah. We'll move away from the racial topics. Because, I mean, that could be worse than you just saying the name of your school. Let's get to this one that intrigued. Social emotional learning. Is that what it was called? Mm-hmm. What the fuck is that?
So social emotional learning is the idea that kids need to handle what happens inside of them, like their stresses, their worries, before they can learn like other things, like gain other knowledge in like math or science or writing or whatever. That needs to be dealt with first. Like they need to be okay with socially and emotionally before they can succeed as like academically. So we learn all about like empathy and compassion, and we check in with each other. We learn like mindfulness strategies and like I don't know. We have like daily community circles where we promote our classroom community.
I literally was picturing you guys just crisscross applesauce, kumbaya in a circle, just you have the feeling stick, Kevin.
But it's not like always about feelings. Like a lot of it's just like getting to know each other, like fun stuff we want to talk about. And then there's sometimes like the kids will come in and say, Miss Miller, we need to have a community circle and we need to talk about what happened at recess. And it's like, okay, let's work out our problems kind of thing.
What usually happens at recess? So they're like, we need to talk about it. Jimmy threw a snowball at me and I didn't like it, or...
So it's like all the problems, I feel like, in the school day mostly stem from recess issues because...
Oh, yeah. It's just not fair.
Yeah, it's like... It's games that kids play, like a kickball game or a foursquare game.
He was so out at first base.
Yeah, they're not agreeing on who's out, and they're thinking someone's cheating, and it's really starting to bother people, and they're not listening. So we like work through strategies for that, and we sometimes I'll say, do you want to talk to this person directly? And they'll say yes, and they'll like turn and say, Jimmy, I think at recess what you did was super, like they use their iMessages. We work really hard on like iMessages. Like how do you say like how I'm feeling? Like you made me feel this way. In the future, I would hope that you do this. And then the other person like acknowledges them through their iMessages. I don't know. It's like a strategy we teach. And it's actually like promotes like a really tolerant and very communicable people.
I mean, that's good. I guess people are communicating. It's in a way that would make me want to rip my fucking ears off, but I couldn't teach. I don't know how, especially that, because I guess I'm terrible at that. And if they're like, Mr. Kusky, you need to teach to deal with your internal emotions to children, I'd be like, just tell someone to fuck off and move on. It's just... I
mean, sometimes that'd be easier.
So
I feel
much
like
easier.
my personality, personally, I feel like I would rather do something like that.
Yeah,
but I also want to teach the kids, give them the tools and
there are other options, yeah.
Other options.
I think a lot of, when I think social emotional, that's not even a thing. We're just putting words together now. Is like most of that is experience learning, in my opinion. Like you're not gonna... You can't just be like, this is how you're supposed to react. Or just, go through it, figure out you didn't like that, and then don't do it next time. Rather than, I'm just, in my head, I'm like, all right, you're in a textbook. Yeah. If Johnny's mad, you don't make him mad anymore. If you're sad, don't be sad anymore. It's a weird thing to try and teach rather than just learn through experience.
Well, when you think about it, actually, you probably don't remember a lot of elementary school.
I remember every day.
Really?
No.
But like everything that we do without thinking about at one point was probably taught to us.
Oh yeah.
You know, like you're thinking about like they learn it through experience. Like it was also probably taught to you at one point, and that was like you thought to yourself
point.
That's how you should react in this experience.
But like I'm trying to think, but I never had a class like what I remember is like
you have like guidance.
The amount of times I've gone to a guidance counselor in my life, I can count on one hand, and that's because I was required to go for like
well, like didn't
classes.
They come to your class? Like the guidance counselors would come and do lessons.
No.
Or school psychologists?
No. Do you want to know who my guidance counselor was at middle school?
Who?
Jesus.
Oh, yeah. You went to a private school. I feel like
God is my guidance counselor.
I feel like it's different. Yeah. Because I know when I grew up, we always had like a guidance counselor come in once a week, and they'd teach like a...
We had religion once a day, and then mass once a week.
Yeah.
Father, Son, Holy, Forgiven, and you're good to go.
Yeah, we would. That's definitely different. I don't know then. I guess maybe you didn't. You just learned that God should help you through your problems, basically.
No. I mean, Catholic school it's a lot different. I mean, I guess our teachings were literally through the Bible in terms of like how to treat people or...
Oh, yeah.
Here's the thing, though. When you're teaching kids life lessons through the Bible, it's hard enough if I just straight up told a child, you're not supposed to make Johnny sad, but when you do it through a parable about a giant fish who eats someone, then swallows them out, and you're like, what does that mean? You're like, I don't fucking know.
You're a child. You're like, are they actually eating the people?
I know there is one where someone was swallowed by a fish and I think spit out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or the parting of the Red Sea. It's like,
and they were
ask
trying to
a
relate
5-year-old,
that.
what the hell does that mean? It's like, there are kids in college who can't interpret To Kill a Mockingbird. You're asking a 4-year-old, what does Noah's Ark mean? Like, no fucking clue.
I don't know. I would probably never teach in a private school. I would love to know what's the difference between private school and public school, because you went to both.
Hell. Oh yeah, it's hell. I truly believe some of the worst people I've ever met, or some of the most like misbehaving kids I've ever met, have come out of private schools.
So you know Sarah Favis,
yeah,
right?
There you go.
She went to private school, and
Sorry,
it
Sarah.
was like a. I remember her always saying, as soon as she left private school, it was like she
freeing
went through this phase in like early high school of, and I feel like that's a pattern.
It is.
Right?
Well, think of it like this: it's your people say people with the most strict parents usually like break the most rules because you're repressed. Like you're like no, and then when you finally go to college or something like that, and you have this freedom, it's off the deep end because they haven't been able to experience things.
Yeah.
They've just been told what to do.
Yeah.
And not experience like, oh, don't do drugs, don't do alcohol, and they're like, oh, this kind of feels good, and they're like more, and then it's off the rails. Versus if you experiment a little in high school, I'm not advocating high schoolers drink right now. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. See, I guess I did learn something. But when you experience it a little bit, like in doses, when you're afraid, instead of just constantly getting reprimanded, you kind of learn limits and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think experience, in my opinion, obviously, I think is the best teacher of all for everything. But yeah, that's what the Catholic school is it's strict parents. Mm-hmm. I mean, I had the same 30 kids, give or take.
Do you think your parents were strict?
Not really. I think they were
strict. Why'd they send you
to
Catholic school?
My dad was raised in a very Catholic family.
Okay.
My mom's Lutheran. So my mom just lost the battle. My mom was like, I'm not fucking arguing with your father or his side of the family.
So is he the strict parents, religious parents, or...
I mean, those are the two. I mean, I'm comparing comparing Catholic school or religious schools in general, mainly Catholics, to, I think, hyper strict parents. Okay. And like going from private school to public school, like same 30 kids, give or take 5 or 6, from kindergarten through 8th grade. Yeah. You guys kind of had more when you guys got to middle school. You guys had
it was like 300 of us.
Exactly. I had Kevin and Jimmy next to me, kindergarten through 8th grade. Yeah. Occasionally, Hannah sat next to me, and
all with like kind of the same upbringing, right?
Yeah, and then
you're exposed to all these other kids who have way different experiences in high school.
Exactly. Then you go to public school, and you're like, holy fuck, there's more people in the hallway than there were in my school.
Yeah.
I can choose what classes I want to take. I don't need to go to mass. I'm not wearing a uniform.
Oh, you wear a uniform.
Yeah.
What was your uniform?
Well, until you get to, I think it's 5th grade, you were given a slip at the end, and you're like, you can now wear a red polo shirt, but it had to have the school's logo on it.
Okay.
But when I first went there, it was a navy or plain white polo, and then navy pants or khaki pants.
So did you have to go to the uniform store?
You could mix and match. I think we always got ours at like Kohl's or Target.
Okay.
And then they finally they expanded. They went to forest green. We could do that too. And then red. If you were in middle school, you could throw one of those on. But they had to have the school logo on it for those colors.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Cause I have so much to say about uniforms. I feel like it's just so limiting. Freedom of expression.
There's like a 10%. I don't know what wording this wrong. Part of me didn't mind it because when you get into high school, and I didn't really care in high school either what I wore, but it's one less thing you have to worry about. You're like, I'm on school.
Yeah.
Because there are times where you're probably like, what the fuck am I going to wear to school day? It's Friday. I got to look my best. And you're sitting there wasting 30 minutes to get dressed.
Yeah. Well, you always knew what you were going to wear.
Yeah. It was like,
super nice.
I was like, which polo is clean? And that's it. And all the colors matched with each other.
Yeah.
So you could literally wear whatever.
Yeah, and that would be super nice from that sense, but also like you couldn't express yourself through clothes.
Oh, you would have hated. Girls tried to. Some of the rules were dumb.
They like what?
Ugg boots, are they still a thing, by the way?
Not really.
Okay, you couldn't tuck them in.
You couldn't.
You couldn't tuck your pants into your Ugg boots.
They had to be under.
No, they had to be over your Ugg boots.
Like your pants had to be over.
Obviously, Ugg boots.
Like how my boots are kind of right now.
Yeah. So like if you had like skinny jeans, where you had to have those like really wide boot, like what are they?
Flare pants.
Sure. And to go over, or if you came with them tucked in, you had to like do that like thing where you do with your pants, where you go over like this, but with your boot, and then put your pants over it. Girls looked like fucking idiots.
But they were trying to keep up with the trends.
Trying to keep up with the trends, and they're like, nope. Aww. Put them over. It looked like they had fucking clackers for feet. Yeah. I mean, it was hysterical. Yeah, that was the big one that pissed all of them off. I once was told I was disrespectful to the church and God for the shirt I chose to wear to mass.
What was it?
It was just a plain shirt that said Hollister on it. They're like, that's not dressy enough. Do you think that's respectful to God and the priest? I go, I thought this was an all-forgiving, all-loving God. Yeah. I can't wear a shirt that says Hollister on it. It's not like I'm saying I have a shirt that says 666 or KKK or fuck Jesus on it.
Yeah.
It says Hollister. It might
was it like a nice shirt too? It's probably pretty nice.
It was like a plain blue shirt, and then like those like big letters.
Oh, the like bubble letters.
Yeah, they came across.
They had a little bit of rips on them.
Yeah, like the phrase.
Super trendy.
Yeah, I'll never forget that. I'm like, that makes no sense. This is supposed to be a loving place to be.
Were you wearing jeans?
No.
You were wearing khakis?
Yeah.
See, then I would have been like...
It makes no... And I was even the one handing out the little, like, prayer books before Mass.
It was so on Mass days you had to dress, like, really nice? Or was it, like, actually at Mass?
You were allowed to wear just, like, dressier clothes. You could put on a button down, like a long sleeve, or... So, you could wear, like, collared long sleeve, but it had to be, like, the same material. It was basically, like... It was so dumb.
I'm, like, not religious at all.
Oh, we aren't either anymore.
I, like, have faith in something else, I feel like. But
the lizard people?
There's, like, gotta be something. It can't just be just us out here.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think I, like, necessarily am, like, I'm religious and I believe this one thing.
I don't either. I think there's a reason behind the Bible. Like, it stems from something.
Yeah.
But I'm not like...
And how all religions, like, kind of have similarities.
some similar teachings. I mean, it's a good teaching tool, and it does help a lot of people for, like, just guidance and getting right on track for, like, if you had, like, a poor life before and, like, I found God. It's like, that can mean so many different things. You're like, I follow these rules now and I live a better life. That's fine. I always say is I was raised Catholic. I don't know if I am Catholic.
I was raised Catholic too, but I'm not.
My brothers and I haven't been to... My dad hates this too because he's still religious.
He goes to church?
Yeah. We don't. I haven't been to church. We used to be Creasters for a while, and my dad hated that. And then now we... No.
Just don't. Except your dad does. I mean, that's...
Sometime I think like 3 years ago we went to Christmas mass with him.
Okay.
But we sit in the he sits in the back. It's not like we're involved. We're just
Yeah.
like we're on
Well,
like
at
the
least
windowsill. Like we're getting out of here right away.
Well, sometimes it's just like going with your parents and doing the things that they want to do. I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
he
know.
really liked it.
I know, but he likes shooting guns. Can we go shoot guns
Yeah.
and then do the sign of the cross afterwards? Like,
Let's pick some other bonding things.
yeah,
next
we
time.
don't need to do church. Yeah, church is Oh, Andrew's wearing his jacket out. Nice jacket, Andrew. Yeah, I got all my brothers one of them. I messed up on the front though. I'm pissed.
For what?
The jackets.
Oh, you don't want to show me?
No, I can't. I will, but like it's here, I'll just pull it up.
Oh, did you actually did you have to iron it on yourself?
No. I had someone else do it for me.
And this is the one and only?
No, I might give one away, but I have one for me and my brother. So this is so big.
Oh, you wanted it to be a little smaller?
Well, the problem is, no, I wanted it this big, but I didn't think like when you wear it, it goes over. So it says Fat Chan.
Oh.
So unless I give it to an Asian kid, it's not really gonna make sense. But
Okay.
no, it still looks great. It's just like when you wear it, unless you walk around like this, you don't.
You can
really
put it out there for the podcast and see if people would buy it.
I know. Well, I got to get some decent traction on it before I go buy like 50 of them.
Yeah.
I would rather do t-shirts because they're way cheaper to buy 50 t-shirts than it is to buy 10 of those.
Okay. So since you have like such and such amount of followers now,
Yeah.
are you able to go live on TikTok?
Yeah, you always have been able to, I think, can't you?
I think it's like you have to be past 1,000 followers.
Oh, yeah, I can. I have gone. Yeah, after the first, I don't know what's considered a viral video, and I don't think it was a viral video, but video that did very well. We were able to go live, but I don't like doing that.
Okay.
And so we went to Nashville after that.
Why? Because you're just like, oh, you don't want to be like
No,
the guy
because-
going live?
Part of it, yes. Part of it is like my mentality is like when you go on TikTok and you see the random person that's live, I look at them like, why the fuck are you live? Who cares?
Well, some people might care about what you're doing.
Here's the thing. We went after the first video that did well, and we've more than doubled the audience since, but I didn't go live. It was Scott and Brad and Bobby.
Okay.
They all went, and then it ended up just turning into Goyette playing music. I'm like, hey, if we got like 15 people to watch Brian play music, I'm fine with it. Yeah. But I can't.
Was it like were you super anxious though when they were live?
I wasn't anxious, no. I was just like, I'm not going to be in it. I don't want to. I can't. In my head, I'm like, you had one video do well on TikTok.
Yeah.
I can't start acting like the world
but
wants to watch me.
But also, some people, like, you have to, like, work it. And
I
put,
know,
like, the hustle in and do the live so that more people who start watching you regularly, like, get to know who you are and your personality.
Well, I think I'm going to start doing... So, I don't know if you've seen, but I've done 2 solo episodes now.
How's
which
it
is
been?
Uncomfortable as fuck the first time. I sat right there.
And you just had to, like, talk to yourself?
Like, it's... A lot of people are intimidated when they come in like, holy shit, you have 3 cameras on us. And, like, you weren't like, holy shit.
It's kind of a lot. Honestly, what I'm worried about is that, like, this chair doesn't have a backrest, and I know my posture is probably going to be super bad. Oh, mine's
terrible. I'm working on finding new chairs. I thought about bringing the other chairs down. I was like, screw it. I know,
because, like, that camera especially, I'm like, ooh.
We barely cut to that one, so don't even worry about it. But where was I going with this?
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah. So, my solo episode. I just... was there, the camera was pointing at me here, and I had like a rundown on a notebook, and I was like, just talk. And I'm like, I don't know if I can. I started talking, I'm like, it's only been 3 minutes. And usually when I do this, I'm like, holy fuck, we're almost at an hour.
Yeah.
And that one, I'm like, it's taking forever.
So did you cut it like 30?
I did 40 minutes the first time I did it. And then I had to do another one because I haven't wanted to talk to a lot of people lately. Yeah. And so I've just been like, well, I want to talk to people, just it's a lot of people at my disposal I've either had on the show before, or I'm like, I really just don't want to hang out with you right now, which is no offense to a lot of people, but it's like, this isn't like, I want this to be fun and entertaining, or like talk about something I haven't talked about before. And then it's like sometimes like I know you're not gonna bring anything to this, so I'm just like fuck it, I'll talk myself. And I have everything I want to talk about I can get out. And the last one I did for almost an hour. Because
you just talked about everything.
I mean, I did half of like not get to know me. I think that's where I started talking about this.
Your like loyal followers probably love that.
Well, it wasn't even like get to know me. I got like suggestions from a friend, and I was like, all right, here's some irrational fears or something like that. And I gave him my like actual irrational fear, because I think when you ever like watch clips of like celebrities doing like the Ellen show or something like that, like what's an irrational fear? And they're like, heights. I'm like, that's not an irrational fear. That's like everyone is afraid of heights. Mm-hmm. Everyone's afraid of heights in the dark.
Do you have an irrational fear?
Yeah.
What is it?
Garbage disposals.
That you're worried your hand's gonna get like sucked down into
imagine my hand in there. No, but I had keep it short. I had a shot glass in college, got lodged in there, and I didn't know. When I turned the garbage disposal on, it broke crazy. It, shot up, and cut me in the neck.
Do you have a scar there now?
No.
But it was super scary because it
scared the fuck out of me. Yeah, I mean there's a what is this called right here? Your something. Your jugular. I think it's here. And so I was like, I didn't think it was actually gonna like slice me open. I was gonna bleed out in the kitchen. But I'm like, holy fuck! Like, what if I was leaning over and that went into my eye? And so now when I turn it on or something like that, I'm like, I do this. Yeah. Or if I see my mom over there and it's on and she's like doing dishes and the thing, I'm like, get your hands out of there. Yeah. I hate it.
Mine is I don't know if you've ever seen the Final Destination movies. I feel like a lot of my irrational fears have come from Final Destination, but mine is tanning beds. Okay, so there's this one lady on Final Destination, so she gets
It's not from like claustrophobia though, is it?
No, she gets like trapped in the tanning bed and it like heats up too much. And like for some reason like something falls on the tanning bed and like the heat of the tanning bed goes up really, really high, and she's just stuck in there, and she like burns to death.
That would now that I'm never gonna use a tanning bed and I don't ever plan on it, but that would freak me out. The claustrophobia would bother me, which I think is a very rational fear. But the burning up, I would always have if I could make sure I can open it.
No, I literally like stick my finger out, just to like make sure. And I think about it every time I get in. I'm still like love tanning. But I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stick my finger out. I know this probably would never happen. There's nothing that's going to fall on this. I think they just, like, set it to an automatic temperature.
I've had those thoughts in, like, saunas or steam rooms. I'm like, what if someone just locked the door?
Yeah.
Like, I know you can't lock it from the outside, but, like, what if I just steamed to death? You boiled me like fucking broccoli.
Yes, okay. Intrusive thoughts. Have you ever thought, like, when you are coming up on, like, a train?
Wait, what thoughts?
Like, intrusive thoughts.
Okay.
So, like, an intrusive thought is something that's, like, really dark for no reason and you're just thinking it like
jumping in front of a train.
Yeah. Like every time when I was living in Madrid, every single time I pull up to the metro stop, I'd walk to the metro stop and the train would pull up. I'd think like, how crazy would it be if I just like jumped in front of the train, or like if someone next to me just jumped in front of the train. Like
I have those thoughts all the time, and I think it's like an impulse. So I have a lot of impulses and tics and stuff like that, and it's really weird. But it's the plane for me. So it's like if I sit next to the emergency exit, like, are you prepared to like open the door in case of emergency, blah blah blah. Yeah. And I'm like, what if I just opened it now?
What if someone did?
Yeah, what if I'm sitting next to it? I can go like this.
Yeah.
And we are all fucking screwed. Like, what if I did that? Like, out of a movie, we're just sucked out like a vacuum.
Yeah. That's an intrusive thought. I think literally that's like a normal thing.
And then I think about it for a while because I'm like, it's one of those things that you want to do. It's like popping a pimple. You know you shouldn't do it, but you're like, yeah, I'll fucking do it anyways. I've never opened a plane.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's...
And there's the other ones, like when you're waiting for a car to pass. You're like, what if I just walked in front of the car? Or a semi.
That's like, or like, I'm going to drive on the other side of the road going uphill once. See what happens.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I had a friend actually ask me to do that once.
Drive on the opposite side of the road, uphill.
Uphill. And we did it for a little bit.
How was it?
Scary as shit because I was like, fuck this, I'm not... it was a big hill, and I got halfway up. And I was like, fuck this, I'm not doing it. I can't see at all. Like, there isn't even, like, cheating on this. I get over it. We get to the top of the hill, semi.
Really? Okay, I have really bad
No, like
driving
that.
anxiety.
No lie,
That
no,
would
straight
freak
up.
me out so much.
I've thought about it every time. Like a semi has gone over a hill. I'm like, I almost
That could have been me.
went head on with a fucking semi.
Driving is so scary to me. I feel like, well, one of my friends passed away in a car accident. And so ever since then, like, I've had such bad driving anxiety.
My little brother does too.
Yeah, and it's just like, just sitting, I think it's literally just sitting in the front seat though. Because like when I'm sitting in the driver's side, like I know I have control of the car.
Yeah.
When I'm in the back, like I can't see anything, so I'm like good. But if I'm in the front seat, I feel like so much less, like so much more helpless.
Oh yeah, you're like stop.
Yeah,
stop,
I'm like,
stop.
dang, I'm a backseat driver. But like that kind of stuff, I'm always thinking like the semi could hit me. Would never do that.
Have you ever had a friend, or even you, go through a red light, even in a semi-busy intersection, and just just go through? They're like zoned out. Because I've done it driving. I've never gone through just straight through a red light.
Yeah.
But where you black out driving, everyone has this kind of, and you're like, fuck, I've been driving for 5 minutes. I don't remember the last 5 minutes. There were turns. There were like turns and like.
Dang, my muscle memory is pretty good.
Swerving on the freeway going 70, but I'm just thinking about, I don't know, cottage cheese or something.
All of a sudden you like wake up and you're at home.
You're like, what the fuck? Am I here already? But you have a friend that goes through a red light and you're like, dude, the fact that you did that so like last minute red light, thank God. Because what if a car was coming at like 40 through and you didn't notice it and boom, T-bone?
That would be my dad got hit on his motorcycle because someone ran on a red light and they weren't paying attention. Jeez. He almost died, but he's good now. Got rid of the motorcycle.
That's good. I think the other car got rid of the motorcycle.
I had a friend in high school whose thing was like going through red lights. Like it was like a running joke with him and his other friend. He drove this really big, nice car, so he was like, no one could touch me. And I just remember, I don't know if necessarily it was like a thing, but it was like when I was in the car, I feel like it happened quite a bit, where the light would turn yellow, right? And he's like a good distance away where you definitely need to slow down.
Yeah.
And his friend in the front seat would be like, bet you won't. Like, just always, I remember being like, I hate this so much.
There are two people when it comes to driving. It's either yellow means slow down or yellow means speed up.
Yeah.
And they're definitely speed up.
But it was always like so far away where it was like the speed up would not.
You're like, if I just took my foot off the gas, it probably turned green again before I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, I just remember being like,
I like
what?
doing that is trying to time it. We're like, all right, I'm far enough away, take the foot off the gas, where you kind of just like, you're rolling in, and then right when you get there, you're like, boom, gone.
Yeah.
And then you pass everyone on the left lane. I like that. What do you think we're at?
An hour.
52. It's
52.
quicker than you think. Did this feel forced?
I feel like at times I'm like, oh, I should have thought more about what to talk about. But
I think you did just fine. We'll end with this close. I guess we'll end with this. I asked everyone this for the season 2. Who's trying to kill us outside? But Andrew, is that you? No. Okay. So when's your birthday?
September 12th.
So it just passed, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you have a full year. We're good.
Okay.
What is something you have to do before you turn 26?
Something I have to do before I turn 26.
How mad is Cody, by the way, that she's 26 and you just turned 25?
Cody is going through like a midlife crisis that she's like closer to 30 than she is to 20.
I like reminding her.
Yeah. And I think I said that to her. I said that to her one time. I'm like, Cody, how crazy is it that you're going to be closer to 30 than 20? And Pat was in the room. She was like, Rick, why the fuck would you say that?
Well, I told her, like, hey, if you round up, it's basically 30. So.
Yeah. No. And it's just, I don't know. I would think about that all the time. I guess it's like.
I freaked out when I turned 23.
Yeah. Like not to be reminded of it. But, like, before I turn 26, I better be moved out of Milwaukee, out of the state, somewhere new, because it's not for me.
That's fair. I mean, I'm right there with you. Where would you want to move?
I feel like it changes, but right now I'm on, like, an Austin, Texas kick. I stayed there for, like, a month this summer, and I really, really liked it. Actually applied for some jobs there.
Really?
Got 2 job offers.
Oh, really? What are you going to tell your kids?
Couldn't take
Your
them.
best friends.
Couldn't take the job offers because I applied without a Texas teaching license. So I have to get my Texas teaching license first. And then maybe I could see myself in Austin. I really like it.
How do you plan on breaking into your favorite people in the world, your best friends, your
My
class
kids?
of 30? Yeah.
They'll move on so quick. But right now, if I left them during the middle of the school year, that would be bad.
Well, it's the beginning. How long has school been going for you? This is my teacher appreciation week.
This is week 4.
Week 4?
Yeah, we just started week 4.
What are they learning right now?
We are learning how to round to the nearest 10,000 and 1,000. We are learning all about basically like place values.
Well, you should start with 26 and teach them to round up to 30.
Yeah. Well, they know how to do that, but they're rounding like multi-digit numbers.
Okay.
We're learning how to form big ideas about characters. We're learning how to...
Which kind of characters? Like Scooby-Doo and Bugs Bunny, or like their character?
No, like fictional characters in books. Like
Okay.
the deeper characters who like the character that we're studying right now, his mom died and he's super depressed because his dad doesn't let him talk about his feelings type of stuff. So we form like big ideas about characters and...
What's the big idea with that one?
Like he needs to, like, I don't know, there's symbolism in books for like what the author's trying to teach us, and I don't know. So then in writing, they're learning how to write narrative stories, like small moment stories, fictional stories. Social studies, we do a Wisconsin studies in 4th grade, so they're learning all about the state of Wisconsin.
That's good. We went to the Capitol in 5th grade, I think.
And then in science, we do Project Lead the Way. So they're building bikes out of like a Vex kit right now, which is fun. And then that's really what we're doing right now. You want to come to 4th grade?
I don't know.
And learn some new stuff.
To be honest, I probably would learn something.
Okay, you know what would be super fun? Like a guest speaker. You could come in and tell my kids all about like having your own podcast because they're super into that stuff. They talk about like YouTubers all the time. You could be like, kids, stay in school.
I would. Otherwise, you're going to be talking to you guys in 10 years. Oh, my God. What would I tell 9-year-olds?
Yeah, as like a guest speaker about like what you do. It's a lot of like career stuff.
Should I do a podcast with a 4th grade class?
That would be so fun. They would just ask you so many questions.
They would.
They're like the most curious people ever. It's like if you don't have a definite answer for them, it's always, but why?
Oh, good Lord.
I'm like I was trying to explain how wind energy is like converted, and one of my kids just could not understand how a windmill was made. And I was like, listen, okay. I don't know how it's made. I just know how the energy converts.
This is what they tell us. And we're like, we're going to go with it.
He's like, but Miss Miller, it doesn't make any sense. Like, how do they build all this stuff and then it moves the wind around? Like, it was funny. They're funny kids.
I mean, try explaining the internet to someone.
Yeah.
I don't like. Someone did a joke, and I was like, the internet is literally metal in the sky, and I can talk to someone in China. That's it.
That's something I think about. Like at one point, this Earth was just like rocks.
It still is
dirt.
just everything.
Like, how does all this stuff come from? Like the garage that automatically opens, and like these cameras mirroring our images.
This is one of like the most high conversations I've ever had. Was in Nashville, and we're all just like, you realize Earth is just like stuff that was in the earth and now it's above the earth and we can do all these cool things now, but it's all just earth.
Yeah.
Like man-made, it's just man-formed, not man-made.
Yeah. Like someone had to make the machines that make these cool things at one point.
But it was all out of earth stuff. So everything's natural.
It's crazy.
Everything's fucking organic.
It's crazy to think about. That's like the something that like you spiral when you think about everything that
Everything
happens.
just goes in a fucking circle.
Yeah.
Oh, last thing I was going to ask, because this always bothered me in school, was as a teacher, when you're teaching kids how to like decipher books, and like this is the meaning behind it, do you ever even go like, listen, this is just what they fucking wrote, it means nothing, like we're looking too far into this?
No.
Like he skipped to the pond. It's just him skipping to the pond. He's not overjoyed because he got an A on his math test. He's just skipping to the pond. That's his preferred method of transportation.
We don't say that because it actually like at least the books that we use in our curriculum, there is like always a deeper meaning behind it. And like the author's choice is supposed to like
fair
show something.
When you were a student, did you ever feel the same way? We're like we are over analyzing this book right now. Like, listen, I get there are some meetings in these chapters, but these last 2 pages I don't need to overlook. Like, he just walked to the courthouse.
Yeah.
Not like it's dark outside, which means there's a looming. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It just happened to be raining that day.
Yeah. Just happened to be. Yeah. The author didn't choose to do that.
Well, yeah, but like, there's like, oh, I want it to be raining today while he's walking. That's it.
So like the kids, they'll write something like that. Like, I wanted it to be raining. But then it's your job as a teacher to think about like, why do you have it to be raining? What mood are you trying to create in your story?
Like, I just want it to be raining. I think it'd be funny if he was wet when he walked into the courtroom.
I know.
Oh, well. Well, we didn't mention your school, so I don't think you're going to be fired, which is good. But you're leaving anyways. You want to quit, so. I
would never say I'm for sure leaving, but I'm definitely like 95% wanting to think about some other opportunities.
That's 100%.
In a different place. But also, like, I was trying to go to Boston last year, but it was really hard to get your teaching license in Boston.
I remember you talking about that.
I had to take 3 tests. I was all ready to go, put in my application. They told me I had to take another test.
How long are those tests?
I had to sit for 4 hours.
Each test was 4 hours? No. I hated taking the ACT twice.
Yeah. And then, like, all the paperwork that you have to transfer to, like, it's a lot. And then when they told me it was 1 more test, and it was, like, on something I don't really even know, English language learning, I, like, was just like, dude, I'm just going to call this a wash at this point. It was a lot.
Last question. We're going to end this real quick.
Okay.
Yes or no answer.
You've been trying to end this for, like,
no,
20 minutes.
No, it's fine. I'm the one asking questions. We're totally fine. You were the second teacher I've had on.
Okay.
Are you going to be the second one that believes the earth is flat?
No.
All right. We're good.
The earth is not flat. What?